The Genuine Article. Discussion and commentary based on articles from JACC.
Hello, I'm Tony DeMaria, the editor of JACC, and today I'm talking to Dr. John Burnett, well known from the Mayo Clinic, the Marriott Professor of Research, and one of his colleagues in fellowship, Dr. Paul McKie, and they've just completed a very interesting project that we're publishing in JACC that deals with the use of natriuretic peptides to predict outcome in normal people as well as people who are in Class A-B categories of heart failure. Tell me, Paul, can you describe the study for us a little bit?
First, thank you, Dr. DeMaria. It's been well established that BNP plays an important role in the diagnosis and prognosis of individuals with heart failure. In addition, we and other groups have looked at BNP and particularly NT-proBNP to help identify individuals at increased risk in the community without heart failure. What the purpose of this study was to determine if BNP, and again particularly NT-proBNP, would retain predictive value in individuals without conventional cardiovascular risk factors or structural abnormalities of the hearts. And we define these individuals as healthy, normal.
I know you exploited that Olmsted County population. That's really a neat population to study. You define the normals with echocardiography as well as clinical history. What did you find, John?
Well, what we found was, I think, a very interesting observation, which was that in the large, completely normal population, normal, no risk factors, normal echo, that some of these individuals had elevated BNP and NT-proBNP, but it was not predictive. And it made us conclude that the use of BNP in the general population of normals really is not needed, and that to really take advantage of these peptides as diagnostics, we need to utilize people who do have cardiovascular disease, structural abnormalities, as well as an elevated BNP. And these elevated BNPs, Tony, again, are within what we would call sort of a level far below those that we see in heart failure. So I think that this could really help us.
Exactly what level was that?
Paul?
So for the NT-proBNP values in women, less than 175 was considered normal. Greater than 175 was above the 80th percentile. And in men, the value was 125. Greater than 125 was greater than the 80th percentile for the general population.
So now the obvious issue here is that if you've got a normal population and they're followed for a relatively short period of time, although a decent period of time, the number of events is going to be very low. Can we really take these data as being definitive that the natriuretic peptides are of no value in a normal population?
That's a very good question, and we did have small numbers of events in terms of stroke, heart failure, myocardial infarction, and mortality in this normal group. We tried to address that issue by using a combined endpoint, combining all outcomes, and even in the combined endpoints, there was no significant increased risk of the combined outcome in the normal group with NT-proBNP values greater than the 80th percentile.
Tony, I think that's a great question, too. And one of the strengths, I think, of the Olmsted study is that we were able to follow these people for up to 9 years. And I think that gives us a lot of confidence. But I still think, as your question implies, we still want to continue to follow such individuals, continue these studies, and be able to really understand how to optimize these important biomarkers.
Well, these are important data, no question about it. The natriuretic peptides seem to have some role in those people who are already in Class A and B, but probably at the moment really would not be of much value in the normal population. Thanks very much for being with us. For The Genuine Article, I'm Tony DeMaria.
The Genuine Article. Discussion and commentary based on articles from JACC.